Alright, so in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys on Pro mode. If you're not already in Pro mode, you press the middle button up here and you select Pro mode. And then here down to the right is where the bottom right is the section where we could see first is Nero Mix, next is cue points, after that is loops, and then after that one is our effects section, which we're going to be talking about today. So the first section that we have is up here to the left. It says pad, and what that does is it gives you a high pass filter and a low pass filter, or you go left and right to adjust the sound of the effect. So if you look over here at the filter, as I move my finger up, it's going to apply a high pass filter. As I move it down, it's going to apply a low pass filter, and it stops right before the end. So this is good if you want to kind of go to the beat with the effect like this. If you're used to using a controller that has a touchpad on it, then this will feel very comfortable to you. Next is going to be our instant effects. So the name pretty much says it all. When you press it, it is going to instantly do the effect. So let's do an example. So you see the effect is instant. And then now we get a new button over here, which is hold. So that means when you choose the effect, it is going to stay on. So you don't have to keep your finger on it. It stays on automatically until you turn hold off. And now if you want to select which effects you're going to use, you press the pencil here, press the 3 dots, and then now you could either apply a whole pack. So essentials, we could apply, and then all of them change. Or you could select individual ones from each pack. So we could put reverb there, we could put a twist over there, and you could really let your creativity run wild and have all the effects that are comfortable for you right there at your fingertips. Next, we're going to go to manual. This is the screen that I use when I'm using effects. I think it's the easiest and has the best features. So we have manual. So these dots up here, these little arrows, you could go back one or forward. You could cycle through the effects without having to open up the whole menu. But if you want to open up the whole menu, you press this down arrow, and then now we get to select all of our effects. So there are so many, way too many to show you guys them all, but I definitely recommend just playing one of your favorite songs and cycling through all these effects and seeing which ones sound good, which ones you're going to use, and which ones you're not going to use. And then over here to the right is visual. That is for video mixing and using the video mode of the app. These effects will only affect the visuals and have nothing to do with the audio, so just keep that in mind. Next is audio and video. These will affect the audio and the video. So you could do transitions with music videos, and it is really amazing all the stuff you could do with this. I definitely recommend, if you're DJing in 2023, start learning how to mix with music videos, because people's attention spans are getting less and less. Next is the star, and now you could choose to favorite songs so that they'll be here when you want them. Just find your favorite effects and you could put them there. Let's go back to audio. Now down here is a little hidden feature where it says deck. And now we could use Nero Mix. Nero Mix separates the drums, the harmonics, and the vocals. So we could set the effects to be just on the vocals. And you see this microphone that appears over here. Now the effect is going to be on the vocals anyway, and it's not going to affect anything else in the song, only the vocals. You could do the same thing with the drums, and you could do the same thing with the harmonics. It's really cool to have all of this control over your tracks. And you could do like echo outs with only the vocals, or you could do effects with just the drums. It's really, really awesome, and I definitely recommend you guys testing it out. So now I have it back on deck. So here are our 3 effects. Currently, you could only use 3 effects at the same time, which I find to be plenty, and I usually never use more than 2 at the same time. But if you're used to DJing with techno, EDM, electronic music, and you want to use a lot of effects at the same time, then you could definitely do that. So to turn the effect on, you just press the on button, and the effect stays on until you press the on button again to turn it off. This slider here will affect the sound of the effect. I recommend testing it out with different effects and seeing where you want it to be set, or some effects sound good if you kind of move it to the beat like this. Next is over here all the way to the right, which is the wet and the dry. Basically, it's a volume slider for the effect. So if you have it all the way to the left, you can't hear the effect at all, and then you can slowly bring it in. This is good if you want to do transitions, or if you want to just gradually fade in the effect and do it very subtly, and it works very well. I don't really use it that much. When I use the effects, I either just turn it on and turn it off, but definitely if that's your style of DJing and you DJed with other DJ software and you're used to kind of fading it in and fading it out, then this section is great for you. You have all the control that you need. And then now you could turn on all three of them at the same time, and then you could turn them off. You can put the middle one on, you can put the bottom one on, and you really have a lot of control over these effects. So let me just show you some of my favorite effects and in which section you'll find them. So you go over here, drop down menu. So the essentials are the ones that you're used to, is the basic echo, reverb, flanger. The new one that they added is an alarm. It's great for doing build-ups and transitions. So definitely check that one out. Another one that is really cool is going to be down here, all the way down. We're going to go to the warp feature, and then the warp section, and then we are going to select scratcher, so you could sound like you're actually scratching with the jog wheels with this one. And this is one of those effects where you're going to want to use this slider over here. So now listen to what it sounds like if you don't move the slider. See, it sounds terrible. But if you move the slider along with the beat. And then you could also use the filter too with some of the effects. So definitely find your favorite effects, play around with them, and see what type of parameters you're going to want for that specific effect. So if you found value in this video, give it a like. If you have any questions or comments and want to learn something else, let me know in the comments. I try to get back to the comments as soon as possible. And if you found value in this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.